everyone. This is my persuasive speech. My name is Ashley Patterson and my speech is on seatbelts. Approximately 7,000 deaths a year could be avoided if people just wore their seatbelts. This may not seem like a huge number, but in 2016, approximately 18,000 people were killed in car crashes due to not wearing their seatbelt. In this day and age, why are people not wearing them? Most of the cars now have seatbelts built into them. So why are they being worn? The National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration says buckling up is the single most effective thing you can do to protect yourself in a crash. There's research that shows wearing a seatbelt significantly reduces the risk of death and fatality and severity of injuries. There's also research that shows buckling up properly saves lives and reduces injuries. Seatbelts are an important feature in cars and need to be worn and worn correctly because they save lives. There has been research conducted to show that socio-demographics plays a big role in who wears seatbelts and who doesn't. Some of the factors were age, gender, race, relationship status, and class. The people who most likely wear them are females, older generations, white and Hispanics, and married urban residents. People also tend to wear them based on the weather conditions, or just the conditions in general. They wear them in heavy traffic, high speeds, or bad weather. Also, for some reason, people tend not to wear them as often at night. There's a 3 times higher fatality rate then. K.F. Boyk wrote in a journal entry called Correlations of Front Seat Passengers' Non-Use of Seatbelts. When the driver of a car doesn't wear a seatbelt, it is likely neither will the passenger. Many lives can be saved by setting a good example. When I was little, my parents used to say every time we got in the car, "Is everyone buckled and ready to go?" This can be a good way to set an example for your children so they can continue wearing their seatbelts. If we all start to wear seatbelts, then many of these fatalities wouldn't happen. Physics plays a big role in how seatbelts work, especially Newton's first law. An object in motion will remain in motion unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. This means that even if the car stops, we will continue moving until something stops us. This is where seatbelts come in. The National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration website includes information on how seatbelts spread the stopping force to the strongest parts of our body, our rib cage and our pelvis. The webbing in seatbelts makes the stopping force less abrupt. Crumple zones also help us keep us safe, but only if we wear a seatbelt. They are at the front and rear of the car and show the stopping force on our bodies to keep us safe. By wearing seatbelts, one can reduce the risk of death by 50%. If they are not worn, our head is usually the first thing that stops us. Our head is the most vulnerable part of our bodies and we need to protect it in very dangerous situations. By not wearing a seatbelt, it is much harder to protect. I know most of us think I'm not going to get into an accident, I'm a safe driver, but no one knows whether they will or whether they won't. All we can do to prepare for an accident is to wear a seatbelt and hope for the best. According to the Brain and Spinal Cord Rehabilitation Center, approximately 1.4 million Americans sustain a traumatic brain injury every year. Traffic accidents account for 28% of these, and motor vehicle accidents account for 20%. My great Uncle Paul, or my grandma's brother, got into a car accident when he was only 22. Now he is in his 60s and has spent his whole life in group homes being taken care of 24/7. He did not get the chance to live his life that he wanted to. He never got the job that he wanted or the family. He is taken care of 24/7 because he sustained a closed head injury while not wearing a seatbelt in a car accident. To prevent this from happening to you, I ask that you please wear your seatbelt every time you get in the car. Seatbelts are an important feature that save many lives if worn correctly. An airbag is not always going to protect someone, but most of the time a seatbelt will. It is good to set a good example for your children and peers by wearing one, because they can save your life. And it would be horrible to have to go through the rest of your life with a closed head injury or any injury at all, because then it's harder to do certain activities. A seatbelt can help you live a long, adventurous life and go to many great places around the world. So next time you get in a car, please buckle up and drive safe. Thank you.